Hello, everybody, and welcome to another scene for Sept of the Howling Winds, a Werewolf the Apocalypse venue set in San Diego, California. In this scene, we have Johan has gotten information and honestly a vision of his own about someone who is close to him has had their first change. And since he is just a cub himself, he cannot handle the situation alone. So he is going to go to, he would go to his packmate, Jesse. However, Jesse has been not around. And that in itself has been a little strange, but Johan has tried to keep out the hope that Coyote would let him know if something was wrong. So he's going to go to the other consistent den parent, the assistant den parent, seeker of the ancient ways, for help. And the two of them decide that they could probably use extra help because they're not sure what shape that they're going to find this person in, what kind of situation it will be. Like they're just not entirely sure. So they figure the more people that they have, the better. So they put out a call for anyone interested in helping retrieve a cub, and to meet them at the Cairn Heart.
Aiden will gather his packmates. Well, the ones he can find. Maybe she can find, if she can find Elsie too. And then we'll go there because that's what his pack said they were going to do. That sort of thing.
Yeah, Lash will suit up. He's got a trench coat on today. He's got black muscle shirt and black cargo pants on, and he grabs his new weapon and the old one and puts them into place underneath the trench coat at the small of his back and on his back, and follows Aiden out.
So how was the howl issued out?
The seeker howled out that there's a new cub that needs to be retrieved, and that anyone that wishes to help do this needs to meet her and Johan at the Cairn Heart.
Veronica will do a howl of elation for any of her packmates that can join, or anyone participating with this, and use Call of the Wild.
Okay.
Oh, come on, you know that's always helpful.
I know. Roll your Call of the Wild.
So, let's see.
Let's see. Bailey is has deemed himself as acting den parent since Jesse is missing. So he'll join. And you'll
when
get
that
Luda
happens.
too.
Hey, when that happens, it just shows like a word because you forgot something.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see what the difficulty is. If it's standard difficulty, I got 4 successes.
Okay.
Actually, I got 3. I just saw the one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So everybody will get 2 extra temporary willpower points to spend just for this scene. If you don't spend them, they go away.
Cool.
Galliard for the win.
When Lash and Aiden arrive, Lash will offer Billy a fist bump and a bared throat at the same time.
Okay. Lita's there too. So Bailey will fist bump him back and nod to him. So, Bailey will turn to Johan and say, how much do you know about this person so I might possibly be able to do Pulse of the Prey? And Johan will say, well, I know that he is apparently my half-brother that I didn't know about. Though I think that I will be guided to where he is. And he and he'll nod. Okay. So yeah, so we apparently have 10 Garu that are going to be going. Those that have not done their intros may, for the one who just joined the scene, there was a howl for help retrieving a cub, and for any interested in helping with that was to meet at the Karen Hart.
Zhongli will be coming up to the Karen Hart at that point, still in his ratty suit.
Veronica's in Hispo form.
Okay.
Just because of the howl. To get
Right,
them off.
of course. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't
Seeker
use it because fake lobber.
Seeker's in Lupus, because those are breed form. Johan's in Hamid, Lita's in Hamid, Bailey's in Hamid.
Lash is in Hamid form for the moment. Just in case they need to. Sorry.
Did Petra have her curiosity piqued?
Out of game, which Petra?
The one that's a girl, the PC.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just sat back down at my desk.
Oh, so you join the scene and you walk away.
I had to go use the restroom!
Uh-huh.
Sure.
So, what happened was there was a howl made for help. Any Garu that wanted to help go retrieve a cub needed to meet at the Cairn Hart.
I see. Well, I guess that Petra, for her part, is she'll at least make her way up. She's observing at this point. She's not in amongst everyone else. She's sort of staying on the periphery of everything, but she seems to be interested, to say the least.
Okay. So Johan and Seeker will look at the assembled. Seeker is in her lupus form. And Johan will say, I know that I'm just a cub myself, but this person, this other cub that we're going after, is apparently a half brother that I didn't know about until about half an hour ago.
I swear to God, everybody's related in this freaking set.
Johan will throw up his hands like this is the first one for me. So my
Any
father
bets
is
on
Spanish, so that doesn't count.
any bets on who I'm going to end up related to?
You know what? If you're related to me and Alexei, it'd be hilarious. Would be one family.
Oh,
and
if I'm related to you guys got to clean your house up. Yeah, I got a couple of assholes in your family tree you need to talk to.
Bailey will say, as far as I know, there's nobody in that family tree that is a Get a Fenris or a Black Fury, so I think it's okay.
As far as you know, we'll tell you the story about him, and he points back at Aiden. We'll tell that story to you a little later. Didn't see that one coming. Well, actually, I did.
Bailey will shrug or whatever. Anyway.
So, and tell us now, did you say you needed a rescue team? If only there was a pack who said that they would make that their job. And he'll smile.
And Lash will look over and go, I tend to remember hearing about something about that.
All right. Lita will pipe up and say, as the ranking Garu here, I would advise you all not to get too hopped up on your egos. This is a cub we're talking about.
And he'll, much more seriously, he'll just nod. Yes, Raya.
And she'll turn back to Johan and kind of let him finish speaking. And Johan will nod to her gratefully. Thank you. So, from what I understand is that he's already had his first change, though I'm not sure that he remembers it. So he looks at everybody. I got more than what I thought that we might, though he'll shake his head. I don't know why I assumed anything less, but whatever. So maybe a whole bunch of us swarming in on him might not be the best idea. And Bailey and Lita will both say, Lita will say, I can stay. There's my pack's representation here. I don't need to go. And Bailey will nod too, and he'll say, I don't need to go either. And as a matter of fact, somebody should probably be here for the cubs that are already here. So I'll let Seeker go, and I can stay. And and the two of them will just kind of leave from the rest of the group. And Johan will say, okay, that's better. Still, though, we should probably not all, crowd him at once. He's probably not going to understand what's going on. So let's just see how this goes.
We should have some numbers just to make sure no one else isn't looking for him. But certain people we should have designated certain people should talk to him, and certain people should remain as a backup in case something's going wrong.
Well, I know Seeker should definitely talk to him because she's in the Den parent staff. Seeker will look to Johan. Johan, do you know what auspice he is? Johan will shake his head. Let me think. He has eidetic memory, so. Bati said that he changed under the same moon he was born. So Galliard? She'll nod.
Veronica perks up hearing that.
And Johan will say, okay, so how about Seeker and Veronica talk to him? And maybe Aiden, since Den staff and 2 Galliards.
Is it a waning? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. I was asking out of game question. Waning or waxing?
Is for him?
Yeah.
Waxing. He's waxing.
Okay, good.
And then everybody else, especially the Ragabashes, should scout and keep an eye out. And I'll be on standby close by you 3 because, well, he's my brother.
Zhongli will give a slight nod of his head at this plan.
Sounds good.
Lash just Lash nods and remains quiet.
And then Johan will turn his attention to the one who has not spoken but is kind of waiting on the outskirts of the group. He'll actually go over to her.
She's currently slicing up part of Granny Smith apple. And eating it slice by slice.
Ooh, fancy.
Well, you know what they say about an apple a day. But she'll look up at the person who's approaching her.
Is a at first glance you can't really tell if he's a man or woman. You just really can't. But he's about 6 feet tall and walking very confidently over to her. You can smell black pure breed. Very high black fury pure breed.
When Johan gets within sort of a close enough proximity where there's no mistaking that she's being approached, she simply very slowly takes one of the apple slices up to her mouth and just looks at him.
He'll look to her and he'll say, "You're new."
I am.
I'm going to assume that you are a cliff, and he'll expose his throat to her.
Well, you know what they say about assuming things. But in this case, you'd be right.
He smiles. I'm Johan Quartermain, born on 2 legs under the half moon to the Black Furies, and I'm a cub.
I see. Oh, cub. I am open wounds. Born under the half moon, just as you are. on two legs, just as you, but with the fortunate grace to have been born to Grandfather Thunder.
He'll crack a smile at that. I kind of had a feeling that you were. And since we are in the Umbra, he has a very prominent panther spirit heritage. Like, he's basically a panther.
5 points of it, yeah.
So there's a talking panther.
She cuts off another slice of the apple. She's looking at him. So, are you leading this mission, Bagheera?
He'll grin. I was actually going to, even though I have the information, I am a cub. So, unless I am appointed to lead this mission, I'm not going to assume that I am.
Just couldn't help but wonder. You were speaking quite a bit and at length. And she'll take the apple slice and bring it up to her mouth and just take it off the blade and chew it.
Well, I have been a cub for 7 years, so he'll kind of tilt his head back and forth.
Career student, I see.
I had this goal that I knew I was never going to achieve. So I've decided to take a different route.
Was the goal a rite of passage?
It was. But it was the tribe that I wanted into.
The tribe of your heritage?
So nod.
Well, I've known a fury or two in my time. It's a shame that they only seem to recognize half of their number.
I'm not at that.
But I suppose when one is as lofty as the Furies are, pragmatism is not always needed. Is it?
He'll shake his head. No.
Actually, it starts when he hears that.
So, you'll hear about it sooner or later, so I will tell you that I and a few others are forming a new tribe called the Wardens of the Lost.
A new tribe.
A new tribe.
And who might be your patron?
A new totem. He used to be a Garu, but he has transcended what it is to be Garu and is more a living spirit. It is the beta of the Sep's elder challenge to take him to the celestial realm and have Gaia accept him into her brood of totems and legitimize the tribe.
Well, hopefully it goes better than the last tribe that tried to become its own brand new tribe.
He'll nod at that. Anyway, we have Cub and my brother to go get.
Well,
Are you interested in joining us?
I had simply come over to see what was going on an out of character level when I clicked the link, and then I looked down at the time.
Ah, well,
They
she
didn't
doesn't have
match
to.
up.
She could just say, "Nah, y'all got it covered. I'm gonna go now."
She'll just kind of look at the assembled cast of individuals, some of which she knows, or all of which she knows for the most part, I think, except for maybe one. She takes another slice of the apple and then looks at from Lash to Veronica to Aiden. And then she'll shrug. It would seem that the welcoming committee is all here. And I wouldn't want to frighten the little one.
I'll nod.
Maybe on the next one. At least someone deserves to get a head start on their cubhood.
He'll smirk.
And she finishes off that last slice of apple. And she'll look over at Veronica with just sort of a curt nod.
Veronica nods back.
And she'll simply... She takes one leg, curls it behind the other, and bends at the waist and holds out both arms at her side. In a very over-exaggerated and sarcastic as hell bow.
Mm-hmm. So Johann, the fucking treasure he is, will give a very dramatic, sarcastic, over-exaggerated bow back. Until we meet again, Raya.
Until that time, Anrai. She will
He
turn on
goes,
her heel.
So will he. I was just about to say that.
Can I make an out-of-game comment?
Yep.
So you said you didn't want to scare the little one, but you're going to have Veronica go after this little one.
Listen, in Petra's own head, there is only one baddest bitch on the set, and it is her.
I just want you to remember, they might hear that you're the baddest bitch ever, but you don't hear the horror stories what Veronica has of being the alpha bitch.
Okay, honestly, I think this is like that's like a whole rank level challenge. Petra
Yeah.
versus Veronica, who's the bigger bitch?
Okay, guys, let's
right.
put them back in your pants. Let's continue.
Yes, Heather would like to play at some point, so
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, Petra does make her exit, and yeah, she'll get on out of there.
So Johann will rejoin the group, and he'll shake his head. He'll go, damn it. And he'll look to Veronica. So, since you are the highest ranking Garu here, would you like to lead this mission?
I'm okay with this. She says very confidently.
Mm.
The devilish smirk on her lips.
Do you accept the plan that I have presented, or will you be choosing a different plan?
I do. I have two things to ask. Will questing stone work with finding them also, or no?
I don't have an object of his, so probably not.
Okay. Who here has mind speak?
Aiden shows his hand.
And how many are in a pack in this group? Like a legitimate pack, not like tag along together.
Nobody.
Actually,
All right.
Actually, me and Aiden are in a recognized.
You're not in a. You're not in a pack. You're not in.
You
a
have to have a
totem.
totem.
You're not in
yeah.
a totemed pack. She's basically asking who has the mind link with their pack. Nobody does.
Okay. So a suggestion, if we're splitting groups up where 3 will socialize and 3 will act as a backup, some of us should mind link with the 2 groups, so this way we can communicate what's going on. Because they are going to be scared, they might attack somebody, you cannot predict what they're doing, and you cannot predict who's watching them. And she says this without blinking and with a dead serious face.
So Johan will suggest, so mind link with one of the Ragabashes.
Okay. And Aiden also has mind link, so we can mind link with 2 different Ragabashes, so...
Since Aiden and Lash are in a pack together, they should probably mind link.
And I'll look at out of game. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Jung. Jung. Sorry, sometimes the reading gets. I'll look at Jung and John and ask if give a look are you okay with being mind linked?
He just gives a slight tilt of his head and then nods.
All right, she'll activate mind link with him.
And Aiden does so with that.
It is a very, very quiet mind.
So here's what Johan's gonna do. He's gonna call upon Coyote and mind link with Seeker. She's an Uktena. Coyote likes Uktena. Coyote will grant this.
Strikes with lightning, Raya.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to put forward one addendum. I think that I should be taking any high ground that there is.
Okay, then.
And worse comes to worse, I can use my winning personality.
That would work.
We are, of course, trying to avoid any violence, yes?
Yes, we are.
And how do we propose to get into the city?
The bigger question is, do we actually know where this person is? Are they in the city or in the outskirts?
Well, that's a question for his player to answer. Where is Emery?
You're muted.
He was at he was at the zoo with his son when shit went down. So have fun.
Oh my. Well, this is a little while later. So this is like a couple weeks after or whenever you said he changed on his birthday, right?
Oh yeah. Well, then I guess we'll say he's at the zoo with his kid. There you go. He likes going to the zoo with his kid.
Okay, well, out of character, he was supposed to be without his son when this scene happens. So
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. Then just I don't know.
Where
at
does he live?
home, which is in a suburb area. He's in San Diego. Let's be honest. He's Mexican and he's in San Diego. He's in Imperial Beach.
Oh, yep, he is.
Oh boy.
You're right. Okay, so it's a little ways away, so we'll have to go by car or the Umbra. Probably car would be best. So
Car.
Johan is Johan's gonna say, he is likely at home, and that is in Imperial Beach, which is about an hour away from here.
Lash will point towards the parking lot. To the rabbit.
We are not all gonna fit in that thing.
That's why I have a roof rack.
And Johan is like, I've been in that thing once. I don't want not again. No.
I have a Jeep.
Lash just cracks up laughing with him. It's like, yeah.
Second thing, Seeker, you're an Octena. I don't mean to pry. Would there be a way that you could get a spirit that might be able to tip us off about who we're looking for?
As she points at Johan, he's already got that.
Okay. All right.
Or she'll motion to him. She's in lupus. And she's like, oh, if I have to get in a car, I have to go to Hamid. She'll reluctantly shift to Hamid.
Out of game, someone wants to join. He's asking, is it too late?
So we have a rabbit and a Jeep.
I'm going with the Glasswalker.
I'm honored strikes with lightning, Raya.
She smirks.
Aiden will go with Bash.
So, yeah, Johan will opt to go in the Jeep. Seeker will go with Johan.
Oh, that's the two of us.
Lash is like doing the math and like, well, we definitely all wouldn't fit in the Jeep.
So if we're going, we need to make sure that we're like near one another for mind link to work. So like, don't drive too far ahead.
In a rabbit? Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm going to say, don't you guys drive too far ahead.
I meant like out of game, some people will drive like they'll be swerving in and around cars and be like further than you can see them.
Have you ever seen a 1987 Volkswagen Rabbit?
Only once, and I forgot it.
Yeah, that's what Lash is driving.
Oh, jeez. There's a reason I picked the Jeep.
It actually ought to be a new flaw for the sheet. Flaw, Volkswagen Rabbit.
All right.
+2 difficulty on all social roles with any regular humans who see you in it.
So everybody's in cars, yeah?
Yep.
We are drive along in our automobiles.
Hey, look, somebody she's not in a car.
Yeah.
Do you have the doors down on your Jeep?
Yes.
I fucking love you.
Man, he loves the open air.
So the two that just joined the scene will be in the will be in the part where they come back with the cub because everybody's already left set. So the ones that are going to get him, which there's plenty of Gar are going to get him anyway. There's 7. So
Also, out of game, remember you guys get 2 temporary willpower.
yeah, everybody gets 2 temporary willpower points for the scene if they wish to spend them. It goes away after the scene is over if they don't spend them.
Which I'm using one of the temporary willpowers for mind speak.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, it can be used for mind speak purposes. Yes. So.
I apologize that many people talked at the same time. I arrive at who?
I said the 2 people that just joined the scene, Ben and Amachan, you'll be in the part of the scene where everybody comes back with the cub because they've already left. But
Okay.
It's not a first change. It's just going to get him and bring him back.
Okay.
So there are 7 Gar going to get him. There's no reason to put any more people in there. But there'll be plenty of time to talk and socialize with the new cub when they come back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Adelheid.
Oh, whoops! Sorry. All I heard was background noise, so I was muting people that weren't talking.
I apologize. Do I have a background voice?
I couldn't tell where it was coming from, so I was just muting people who weren't talking.
Okay.
You might be hearing the hum from my computer.
Adelheid is in the parking lot, with Sasha, I presume. And he is looking for other Garu to join them. Does he see any familiar ones?
No, I just said that they already left.
Okay. Now I understand.
You'll be there when they come back.
Huh. Okay. Then he will be waiting.
So everybody gets to the location. Is Emery at the beach or is he at home?
He's at home. He just lives in I don't know, a normal house.
Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of normal houses in Imperial Beach. So yeah, they'll pull up to a normal house. It's probably not. It's not new, but it's not dilapidated either. So the people that are to talk to him, including Johan, will get out.
Yep.
And the neighborhood it's all right. It's not the best neighborhood in the world, but it's not the worst.
What time of the day is it?
It's about mid-afternoon. So it's still light outside.
And I remembered you wanted to take the high ground, John?
That I would. He says, looking around for any way up onto the rooftop levels.
You could probably go to a nearby apartment building and climb the fire escape.
That was the best idea. Yeah, he's going to head around then, take the fire escape. He is not going to pull down the ladder. He's going to go from the top of one of the dumpsters along one of the pipes and then onto the fire escape level itself.
Make me a Dex Athletics roll.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And watch the first roll in, because
Willpower.
that is exact. You know what? I have 2 temp willpower. I am spending a willpower.
I
He's
can
really
mind
good at
speak you
this.
that.
I guess I didn't need it, but still, yeah, he amazingly makes it up.
This is why you get a Galliard in the group.
All right, so he's taking a position up high. No hand on his gun or anything, just watching, waiting, observing them.
Okay. Oh, we were in the second dice roller. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus. Wow.
I did first one. I did just the normal dice rolling scenes. Is that okay? Or you want me in 2 as well?
From now on, roll in 2 because I had set up the scene there.
Okay. I'll set it up to 2 right now.
So we get up to the top and you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Flash is opening his car windows and activating heightened senses. Give us a bit of an early warning system for Sam and such.
Okay. Okay, so who is going to go knock on Emery's door?
Veronica looks at Johan. Like, who would be the better choice? Because it's either if you pick me and I'm physically imposing, possibly someone they know, or Seeker, who, even though she has like a more warmer personality, she's just lupus.
You're right. The funny thing is that Emery has no idea who Johan is or his family. He'll say that to Veronica. He's like, so as far as I know, he has no idea that my father is his father.
Can I roll Wits and Garu Lore to see how some people handle this through stories?
Sure.
I'm sure they have stories somewhere about what they do with this kind of nonsense.
I mean, once you roll, I'll tell you what they are.
So my 2 highest rolls is a 7 and a 5.
Okay. So, honestly, there's not much precedence for this other than snatch and grab. Lost cubs, they get found and taken in a lot of times with...
Okay, I have an idea what to do. Talk to John. Where's your Jeep? Like, did he move his Jeep or anything?
No, he left the Jeep and the keys with one of you guys, assuming that someone could drive it. Probably a bad assumption.
Okay. Well, I do have drive. So I'm going to be talking to you through MindSpeak, saying that I'm tempted to say, what did you... It's like, I need you to look at my car because I don't know if you saw what happened and make it look like there's some accident.
You want us to make it look like an accident?
I want to
What?
convince him that I want him to investigate. You know how sometimes out of game someone might be like, "Hey, I need you to. Did you see what happened here? Come here, look out here." And like you're just getting their attention, so you get them close somewhere, and then you're like, "Now."
Johan's gonna put a hand up and he's like, "Are you wanting to like kidnap him?"
Ooh, here.
This is-
You want to make it look like an
I'm
accident?
going over
I
a
could just
plan
move
as opposed to going there like an idiot.
I was just going to say, if you want to make it look like an accident, I can move the
No,
rabbit
it's
over.
like you know what a ruse is.
Yes, I'm
No,
just saying. I could,
out of game, my character's lying, so it's trying to create. Okay, you want to make it a convincing lie? Got it.
Yeah, I'm just saying I could move the rabbit over so it's
suggestions with how to make
the front. Can you guys hear me?
Okay. Yes.
I was just going to say I could move the.
So suggestion how I can make this.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
So are you just interrupting me on purpose then?
Okay, let's not get too hostile, please.
No, I'm asking if they're interrupting Lash on purpose.
No, I think what's happening is that somebody's trying to speak out of character and it's being taken in character.
Okay.
I'm wanting to. Okay. What is Veronica wanting to do?
Veronica wants to do a bluff to get the person to come outside and be like, did you see what happened to my car? And try to have it make it look like they have to investigate an accident or see a witness or get them outside.
Hey, Aiden
Like to
has
draw them,
persuasion.
like the idea is to draw them outside to the Jeep.
Okay, so the
Yeah, I have persuasion.
The Philodox is going to raise his hand. And he's going to say, making him come outside like that can also result in a breach of the veil.
This is why we're talking the idea before.
So I think that we should just knock on the door.
But we're not shifting form.
No. No, but if we scare him and we're outside, he could frenzy.
Got it. All right.
Which is a veil breach.
That is a veil breach.
Yes. Outside. And if he fox frenzies and we're outside, well, we're not going to catch him. Well, I mean, we could, but then all of us have to shift. And
This is when Veronica confidently smiles and is like, this is why we're discussing it before going in. We're not doing what happened to the cave. We're having a plan. That's why I'm talking to the glass walker and getting ideas. So she knows what I'm referencing, like where there was no communication. So this is why we're communicating and going over this.
That was Johan too, like nodding, like yes, absolutely.
So we're not having that type of thing happen again. This is why we're communicating. So the idea is we don't want to scare him, and we need him to come outside. Suggestions what I could talk to. So we don't need to scare him.
Claim you're doing a survey.
I mean, we could just walk up and say, so,
Because they might be in denial or freaking out. No, we could play it by ear. Probably to be safe, Johan, how about you come with me since you know some of my habits?
He'll nod. Okay.
And she'll just remain in mind speak with John. Because it's always handy to have a glasswalker's input with this.
If you're worried about getting him to come outside, I highly recommend considering telling him that you're doing a survey.
But sometimes I slam the door on people that do surveys. They're like Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's what I do.
Out of game, I have nothing against Jehovah's Witnesses.
Here's a novel idea.
Out
How
of
about you
character.
go up and tell him the truth about why you're there? You're possibly related to him and would like to talk to him about that.
I mean, yeah, Johan nods and is like, that's kind of where my mind was going. And I was just going to say, so, funny thing.
I watch TV and I see stories like that all the time.
I'll nod.
You should tell the truth. I was scared you were you're a werewolf.
No, Aiden. No.
That's a bad idea.
That's. I mean, we can tell him that on the way back.
Yeah.
Or once we, get comfortable. But yeah, not right away. Not be like, oh, by the way. No, that's not a thing.
Just start with the human relation and go from there. There's plenty of stories about how these things happen. Go with the truth.
Out of character, I was just gonna say it's Emery. Tell him you saw the Elote man.
I just want to point out the irony of Lash, of all people, suggesting using the truth.
If Johan knew anything of Hispanic culture, he might, but he doesn't. So, I know, Lash suggesting the truth. Gasp.
I know, right?
How about we play it by ear? It could either be the truth or trying to get him outside, because we don't know how they're going to behave.
I say the idea from Lash and Johan sounds pretty good.
Another idea, when we get to the door, because we have Mind Link on, multiple people do perception and empathy rolls so we can figure out.
You can't do a perception empathy through a mind link if you're not in front of the person. That's not how that works.
Okay, you have to literally be in front of them.
You
Okay,
have to,
I thought they had to be in sight.
Yeah, but you can't. It doesn't. You can't really send images like that. You can send vague images through a pack link if you have pack link, but mind speak is just words and emotions.
Because I thought with Mind Link, if you're using it, you have to be in seeing distance of each other too. That's why I thought.
No, I don't run it like that.
Okay.
Otherwise, the Ragabash on the rooftop wouldn't be able to mind link with anybody.
The building could have been very tall.
He's still in line of sight, I suppose, but
I
don't run it that way.
That's why I'm asking all the details to get the schematics down.
Yeah.
All right, so Johan and I will go to the door. And do we see, like, how many cars are there? Does it look like it's just one person's home or multiple people?
Just him.
Okay. Ready, Johan?
Johan will nod.
So, looking for a doorbell, and if one's not there, just knocking.
Is the house?
Is the door? Okay. And he looks like super suspicious. He kind of just like peeks out of a crack. You cops?
No.
Because I didn't hear nothing.
Using persuasion, we just want to talk to you. Activating the gift persuasion.
So kind of just open the door a little bit for them.
So Johan will look at him and he'll say, so, and he does speak with a very slight German accent, like
3 successes with persuasion.
Okay, so you have a -1 on all your social rolls. He has a very slight German accent, and sometimes I can do it, sometimes not. He'll say, can't damn it, Ben. He'll say, my name is Johann, and this might sound a little crazy, but I just learned that you might be my brother.
The look on his face is like, what? Are you trying to sell me a bridge in Brooklyn?
He'll laugh. He actually gets that reference. No, in California, the Coronado Bridge is lovely. I'm gonna guess that you might have other siblings you don't know about.
Got 7 brothers and sisters. I don't think there's a sibling I don't know about.
Oh, okay. Well,
Making a perception and empathy roll to see if I can get more ideas what we could say to him.
well, I wish that I could say that I was. No, I don't wish. Because I grew up an only child, so I'm actually glad to have a sibling.
1 success.
So with 1 success, is that a perception empathy on Emery?
Yeah.
Okay, what's Emery's general state of being right now?
He kind of thinks he's going crazy because of what happened, but he's fine. I mean, not fine, but defensive. That works.
Okay.
How about we could talk about this. If you want, we can go get coffee. We'll treat. You and Johan can discuss this.
He just kind of, he looks really cautious.
So I'm gonna do Johan's perception empathy on him because I have an idea of what he's gonna say next, but he needs to know his state. How's it for heightened senses? 3, 4 successes. So, okay, so 4 success, perception, empathy. Besides confused and maybe a little cautious, what's the deeper?
He's scared.
He's scared. Yeah. Okay, so Johan. So Johan's gonna say, very softly, did you have something happen to you recently where you might feel like you're going crazy?
He kind of like gulps. And nods.
Well, we know a whole lot about that if you'd like to hear what we have to say. But I'm not lying about the part about you being my brother. That's still true.
He'll back away from the door and let them in all the way into
Excellent.
like the living room area.
All right.
He offers them a seat on his sofa. There's like little kids' toys everywhere, but it's picked up and it's tidy.
Cool. So, Johan will communicate to Seeker that, he's willing to listen to what they have to say, and, he'll keep his mind link open to her. And I imagine Veronica will communicate with whoever she's mind linked to.
Yep, she mind links. Mind links to the Glasswalker. What's going on? So we're inside. We're on this.
Good luck.
Thanks. Let me know if there's anything we need to be cautious of.
I will.
So Johan will sit, and he'll defer to Veronica to talk to him.
So I'm sure there's a lot of questions that you have to ask with what happened that you believe you're going crazy. You're not.
He's just kind of staring at them, like waiting for them to explain shit.
Have you had dreams? Strange dreams?
He nods. Yeah, really, really fucked up dreams.
Did you, by any chance, hurt anyone recently?
He kind of just like he doesn't know what to say. He's like he sits down. He's like, I have these really messed up dreams, right? And I turn into something else, and then this the only thing it can be is a dream because people don't turn into other shit. And I mean, I hurt someone, but it was a dream.
You may not. You may have a hard time taking this in. That is not. That is a half truth. Those dreams are letting you know of what you really are.
He kind of just like stares at him.
What's your name?
Emery.
Emery. Okay, Emery. There's really no easy way to say this. You, along with me and her and a few others outside, are, for lack of a better term that you would understand, werewolves.
No, for real.
Veronica just has this unblinking, serious look.
Yeah, Johan ain't kidding. He's dead
just
fucking serious. Like the look, basically the look that's on his overlay is the look he has right now.
y'all are crazy.
Mm-mm.
Prove it.
So he looks to Veronica and looks back. And looks back at Emery.
If we were crazy, how would we know about this and understand what you're going through? And I'm gonna roll
'Cause-
charisma and empathy.
Because
I do
crazy people know what crazy people are thinking.
I'm gonna make a charisma and expression roll.
Then there are hundreds of crazy people just like you. And me and her.
Ooh yeah. So 5 successes.
Jesus. And what exactly are you trying to convey?
Trying to convey to her that because she's thinking we're crazy and trying to like inadvertent habit when people play different gendered characters, sorry. Conveying to him that we understand him and that rather than just trying to immediately break through his rational thought, like trying to convince him to be a little more rational, like how would we know about this? You're dreaming or some of these other things, like because I hate to say out of game, it's like puberty.
It is absolutely.
So it's trying to get them to understand this is normal, and we want to help you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Emery gets the feeling that he gets the feeling that they're telling the truth, like, and that they're here to help. And it is very much conveyed because persuasion makes you believe things even more than a normal roll. So.
And for charisma.
Mm-hmm.
If you prefer, we could talk here if you feel more comfortable. We can go somewhere else and explain more details to you. Even pick up your favorite drink.
He still doesn't believe. Well, I mean, not that he doesn't believe. He's just like, he's in shock. That's probably what it is.
It takes a lot to take in for some people.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it would be better if we took this back to a safer place.
Like where?
We have a safe place for us to be, just a little ways outside of the city.
A relaxing place.
There's a big lake. And no, we're not going to put you in it. Unless you want to go swimming.
Swimming? What?
He shakes his head. Never mind. Look, there's certain things that we can and can't talk about when we're not in that place, and we can speak more openly if we're in that place.
It's a serene and quiet place beyond the city where you feel more relaxed.
Okay, but if I'm gonna go to this place, what about my kid?
Oh, he'll be able to go there too.
He's with his mom this week, but I'm supposed to have him next week.
Okay. We can make arrangements and get that all set up. There are other kids there too.
He'll nod. Do I need anything?
Yeah, we'll give you some time to get your basic belongings, clothes, whatever other things that you might, and you'll be allowed to come back and collect more things too, but just take what you'd need for a few days for now.
He nods and just like he's got like this shell shocked look on his face as he goes to
Through pack link with Aiden, or through mind link with Aiden, Lash is going to say, yeah, he's going to run the first chance he gets. I did.
Yeah, well, we'll run after him.
This is why out of game we're having ragabashes outside, and we're not having everybody go in. There's a reason we're doing it
Yeah,
this way.
so the Ragabash task force doesn't see anything out of the ordinary. There's nobody coming to, gonna bust in the door or anything like that. And yeah, Veronica gives the signal that that everyone's about to leave. So, Yuzhong can come down from his perch.
Looking at Heather's character, Heather, I'm sorry, what's your character's name? Because I know you mentioned it.
Emery.
Emery, on the way there, do you want something to eat or drink?
No, I'm
Okay.
fine.
Because out of game, there's some people that like to have comfort food and drinks. You never know, everyone's different. All right.
Out of character, his comfort food has to come to him. He cannot find his comfort food unless it's like there.
Okay.
Lindsay knows.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And when you're ready to go, let us know.
He comes back with a bag, like a duffel bag, and he grabs like a really well loved teddy bear off of the couch.
All right. Mind link, we're going outside.
Yep, and Johan left everything open, so Seeker knows that they're on their way. Yeah, so everybody piles back into cars and heads back to the steps.
Veronica takes shotgun in the Jeep.
Cool. Then Seeker and Johan will sit on either side of Emery on the way back.
It's probably out of game. It's better that way.
Yeah, and on the way back, it'll get explained to Emery that Seeker is one of the den parents who watches over the cub, and he is called a cub. Even it has nothing to do with age, it's rank and knowledge level. So, and yeah, so that'll be explained to him on the way back, and we'll say everybody's back onto the sept. If Adelaide is kind of waiting there, he can cleanse everybody.
Adelaide doesn't have right of cleansing.
Oh, he doesn't?
Nope.
Lash will perform it if necessary.
Well, somebody who's already on sept is supposed to. Well, I guess it's fine.
Hold on. Out of game. Do I have Sasha's number? Because she wanted to teach me hospital stuff.
Yes, you do. She did.
Texting Sasha. Texting Sasha.
Does Sasha have right of cleansing?
If she doesn't, she can find somebody.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can technically cleanse yourself and others before going on sept. So
check if she does. I think she does. Character sheet.
Lindsay, right. I'm just making sure all my bases,
she has it.
I make sure all my bases are covered as a Shaw Lord. Excellent.
Okay, then yeah, we'll text Sasha and have her come cleanse everybody. That'll be good.
Okay, she will meet the cars at the very edge of the sept. And is there a special thing I got to roll for this?
No, you don't need to roll for rites of cleansing.
Okay,
I
then
don't make people roll.
she'll go over each one, making sure that they're all cleansed before stepping aside and laying them on.
What is okay? So what is Emery's reaction to rite of cleansing?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so basically, what's happening is that someone comes and is.
I'm telling Emery this is normal, like
Yeah.
explaining it so she doesn't freak out.
Yeah, so it's basically just like it's a ritual, and there's a few tools involved, and including like a bundle of sage or whatever cleansing agent. It's usually sage that gets used. Then there's a little bit of chanting. So it's if Emery is Catholic, it might remind him of like kind of a ritual that might get done at church, or if he's ever seen Santeria, that too.
Okay. He. I don't know. If it looks like Santeria, I'm sure he'd be like afraid.
Yeah, I mean it's not that intense, but it's just it looks like a pagan ritual or something like that. Like
He's Catholic. He'd be afraid.
yeah, okay.
This is not gonna hurt you. This is actually protection.
Hold on.
So yeah, so everybody's cleansed, and Seeker will just start leading everybody cub housing because it's just easier that way.
So we have a new one.
Johan nods, we do.
Yes, we have a new one. He'll say, mimicking her accent.
Your accent is terrible.
But to be
Seeker
fair,
will like nudge Aiden, like, why you do this?
to be fair, it's a fake accent.
Veronica has an entirely serious look the entire time.
Adelheid is. He sees like he knew the group was doing something. He was there near Sasha when the rite of cleansing is happening. He's making sure nobody is coming after them and stuff like that. And he looks at the group like for your information, header. This guy just doesn't fucking smile at all. There's just like weird thing about him that he kind of looks grumpy. But he looks and said, he looks at the cub and says, "Welcome to your new life."
He just kind of raises his eyebrows and goes, "Okay."
Anybody explain him?
Brand new one, from what I understand.
He Johan says, Johan hasn't met Adelaide. Either he has met most of the group, but he hasn't met a lot of some of the group. I guess Adelaide is really the only one he hasn't met. So he'll show his throat to him because he hasn't met him yet, and he knows that he's above him.
No, he's like, "Oh,
Veronica stands near the newcomer, so he feels more safe.
And he'll introduce himself. He'll say, "We haven't met yet, so I'll go ahead and give an introduction. I am Johann Quartermain. I was born on 2 legs under the half moon to the Black Furies, and I am a cub.
Adelheid Trimbenson, dated, lost smile. Foster and Hamid Getafernes the Rune, Guardian of the Sept. Pleasure to meet with you.
Pleasure to meet
Aiden
you as
looks
well.
to the new guy when he's like, because this is a weird way for someone who's not a guru to greet someone. So he's looking at the new guy, see how it looks.
I'm sorry, my thing. I didn't hear what you said.
Aiden is looking at the new guy when the two people are greeting each other because it's a weird way to greet each other for someone who's not a guru. So he's looking at Emery's reaction.
Veronica's standing next to the newcomer with her arms crossed.
He's just watching everything, trying to take it all in. He's so confused.
This newcomer had his first change a couple of weeks ago, and we have collected him and brought him back to Sept. He has been explained some very basic things, but we didn't want to say much outside of here.
Adelheid nods. He is waiting, to go and listen to the explanation.
So Johann will leave it up to Veronica, who is the ranking Galliard, and Seeker, who is the den parent who's present.
Veronica will look at the newcomer. So in a certain amount of time, it'll be explained more about your heritage, what you are, and what we do. Seeker will be teaching you that. And at a certain point, you'll more likely be having your own name too.
He kind of nods, and then he looks over at Johann and goes, wait. You're my brother.
He nods.
Why aren't you Mexican? You have blonde hair.
He smiles and he says, because my father is not Hispanic, and he is your father too, your biological father.
He looks, again, so confused.
And my mother is Greek.
But I know my father.
Yes, you know the one who raised you.
I'm pretty sure he's my father too. He's gotta be. My mom wouldn't lie to me about that.
Our father is I didn't really want to say this on the first day, but hey, why not? So other supernaturals are real, including the Fae, fairies, changelings. He is one of those. She may not have remembered the encounter or thought it was a dream.
So your dad took advantage of my mom?
I don't think that was the case. I think it's hard to explain. My father had a similar relationship with my mother, and I didn't know that he was my father until I was about 15.
He'll just go, huh.
So he'll shrug. I don't know. Only he can really tell you what happened. I just know that he's kind of kept track of you all these years like he did me. He's a complicated person. And yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. He said his mother was Greek. He would have said his mother was German. She's not Greek, she's German. She's a German black fairy. But anyway, so I would imagine that they probably expected you to have a chrysalis and not a first change.
What is chrysalis?
A chrysalis is similar to a first change, but it's for the changelings, for the fae. It's where the dormant fae soul awakens and becomes evident.
You know, I sometimes wonder why all such transformations seem to involve trauma.
He shakes his head, shrugs. I don't know. So, okay. Veronica, you are of his auspice, so why don't you explain some things to him?
So, in werewolf culture, which our people refer to ourselves as Garu, you have, similar to horoscopes, you have a role you play based on what moon phase you're born on.
Okay.
You are born on the same moon phase as I, the gibbous moon, which means it's not quite the full moon. And you are a keeper of history and lore. There are various approaches of how this is approached based on tribe. There are 5 different aspects that you can have. Everyone's born with just one. There are new moons, which are questioners and tricksters. They're good at stealth. And then you have the crescent moon, the Theurges. They'd be the ones that you would consider dealing more of the religious, the spiritual side of things. Your half moons are judges.
One could argue that being a judge makes them much more part of the spiritual side of things if we're referring to a religion.
That is true. They remind us we are supposed to be.
Johann waves, I'm a half moon.
I am what is referred to as... Hold on. Go on, I'll have Sasha word it later once I've got my thing fixed.
Mm-hmm.
You are our gibbous moon. They recite history. They can do it through stories, songs, cautionary tales. Then there's the full moon, which those are the ones that are called on to be the war chieftains.
We have one of every auspice represented here.
We still have one reg bastard, yeah.
Okay, now I can say it. I am what is referred to as Theurge, but I tend more towards the healer aspect than anything else.
And Seeker will speak up and say, I am also a Theurge, but I deal more with spirits and things like that. There are different ways to perform your auspice, there are different ways for us to perform ours, and there are different strengths that each one has. No two no two members of the same auspice do things the same way. So everyone can find their niche, so to speak.
He looks so confused. Like
I know
I
it's a
don't
lot to
understand.
take in, and this will be repeated to you and broken down and explained over the next several weeks, months.
Which is why Veronica out of game didn't want to overwhelm him.
Yeah.
He still looks confused. I don't understand. I am a computer programmer. I work in an office building. How is this happening to me?
Is it nighttime at this point?
It's getting close to sunset right now, yeah.
So Veronica's gonna look at Seeker and ask, like, in body language, is there somewhere I can bring him so he can kind of like feel some of the energy of the Karen? So maybe it could be like intuition or like a gut feeling like something's normal for explaining to. Like out of game, I don't want to break the Karen rules.
I mean, he can be brought to the Karen Heart. That's not an
Okay.
issue.
Bring him to the Karen Heart. So I mentioned this place is relaxing things. You might feel more calm, or things might feel like they make more sense here as I bring him closer to the Karen Heart.
To see it, you have to go to the Umbra.
The Adelheid kind of looks at the Seekers of the Ancient Vase and says, "Then, Mother, I think you should be told about the purpose and why we're what we are. With your permission, I would like to tell it."
She'll nod to him, of course.
Out of game, I'm trying not to overwhelm him too much. So this way we can slowly bring it into him.
This grumpy individual kind of looks at the new cub and says, "So, my name is Adelheid. What is your name?"
Emery.
Embry. The long story short, the world is dying. And you are chosen by our goddess Gaia to protect and bring back the balance to the world. So the world and our goddess Gaia won't die. You may be a computer programmer, but you born this way. This is not something you have turned. You were chosen from the second you were born. And it is your destiny and your quest to bring world back to balance like all of us.
He nods. He understands.
So those things that they're telling you, the Galiard, the Ragabash, it is all just a system in our culture. But your main purpose, what you should learn, is that the world is dying. And while you are just saying that I'm a computer programmer, or you are whatever you were in your last life 1 or 2 hours ago, things changed. You are giving this great burden. And as I have said, it is our duty. As Adelheid nods to the dead mother after saying this, with respect.
Take a roll nod. Thank you, Adelaide. That was actually a very good way of putting it.
He nods again.
So, I guess you're going to go ahead and get your first lesson on there is a hidden world apart from this one. It's a different plane. It's called the Umbra. And we can get there. And I'm going to teach you how to go there.
Okay.
I want you to just take him over to the lake. There's plenty of reflective surface there. And the Cairnheart is actually in a shallow portion of the lake. So where the Cairnheart would be in the Umbra is where they're standing in the Tellurian. And she's going to instruct him to look at the water and just concentrate. And what is his gnosis? Let me, since I have to, I should have a sheet open.
Hold on, I have it somewhere.
I think it's 2. I want to say.
3.
Oh, is it 3? Cool.
It's 3.
Sweet. Okay. So, yeah, so she's going to have him just look at the water and concentrate.
He will look at the
and
water and concentrate.
And she'll ask him, have you ever meditated before?
No.
Okay. So just take a deep breath and clear your mind and just focus on the water.
He does his best.
And it takes a few minutes, but he ends up somewhere else. He's in the same spot, but it looks different. And I can, everybody else is well versed in stepping sideways, so I can so. But there's also this thing in that he's looking at as he turns around, and it looks like just this. It's like a giant stone that's radiating energy, and it's in this enclosure, and the seeker leads them into the enclosure to get closer to the Cairnheart. And everybody can see, I can see that he has Falcon spirit heritage. Oh, it's spirit heritage 3, so he has just some subtle features of Falcon, but it's evident.
Oh, look at you. You're special.
He is confused.
Veronica just looks like an incoming thunderstorm with electricity pulsing.
It doesn't look any different.
Conversely, Zhongli actually looks like a mix of elements are kind of cascading through his fur. Or in this case, his hair, since he's not in Krynos.
I'm actually going to have to ask Lindsay to describe what Sasha's umbral form looks like, because I forgot.
Does she have spirit heritage?
Yeah. Let me check. She has... I'm not seeing it. That doesn't mean much.
Yeah, and she doesn't. And she looks normal.
It's one
spirit
normal
heritage
example.
Yeah. Johan looks a lot like a panther. Seeker doesn't have any spirit heritage. So he'll notice that some people look different and some don't.
Adelheid looks
Okay.
shitty himself, normal, you know.
But if he looks down at himself, he'll notice that he's got like this golden glow to him, and his nails are a little elongated, like falcon talons. But that's about it. He doesn't have feathers or anything like that because it's only 3.
Okay. He doesn't understand what's happening.
So Seeker will say, this is the spirit realm, spirit world. This is on the other side of the normal world. The reflection of everything that you see has spirits attached to it. And she'll point at like Veronica and Johan as the most prominent examples. And they have what we call spirit heritage, which means certain spirits have favored them, and it manifests when they're on this side. But she'll give the floor back to Veronica on the Karen Hart stuff.
So out of game, does the Karen would it make him feel more relaxed or give him a certain sensation?
There's this sense of like familiarity because it's where gnosis comes from, which is the spiritual power and energy that Garu have and derive from. So he's gonna feel he's gonna feel like he's in the right place. As confusing as everything is, this just feels right.
Okay.
Strikes with lightning, Raya. May I add something to this conversation?
Of course.
He nods, stepping forward, and takes his jacket, his suit jacket, unbuttons it, and then in there you can see that there's a knife. Pulls it out. It's a fairly big one, with a blade that's made of glass rather than steel. And he walks over to the new cub and holds it out, pommel towards him rather than blade. So they mentioned that some of us can be touched or favored by the spirits. They've stated that this is a spiritual reflection and that there are spirits in many things. Perhaps this can give you a good example of what they're trying to say, he says, showing his fetish before him. You can almost see or feel a sense coming from it, a almost elemental like himself. And he's holding it out for the new cub to inspect.
He'll look at it, but he won't touch it. He's kind of cautious.
You can see that there's a spirit within this. Can you not?
He nods.
It is a glass elemental. One of the many different kinds of spirits that are out there. These objects are known as fetishes. They are both potent weapons and tools, religious and ritual objects of reverence, and in many cases, friends and companions. Like us, they live in 2 worlds, one of spirit and one of the physical. so when Seeker says that there are spirits everywhere, they're literally always with you and around you.
He nods and he says, "It's like that in it's like that in Catholicism. There's always like angels and shit."
Or like, I believe you call them saints. How there's a patron saint for almost
Yeah.
everything. Very
Yeah.
similar. And sometimes there are, in this case, for our religion, there are spirits that represent things that aren't just physical concepts. But I believe the Crescent Moon's present speak much more in depth about that. He then turns to Strikes with Lightning. Thank you for allowing me to contribute. Strikes with Lightning, Raya.
She nods.
And then he will slice his hand, put the blade back into its sheath, and then step back so he's behind the group once more.
I want to do a perception empathy roll because one of the things I want to do is show him transformation and see if we could teach him how to change form, or if that would be too much for him.
It's a bit much for him right now. He's already been taught how to step sideways and all kinds of stuff. So
1 point, looking at him, I went over aspects. 2 other things that need to be gone over with you. There's breeds. Werewolves are like the movies where they're attacked and it's an infection. They are born. They're usually born with either one parent is a human, one parent is a lupus, or both parents are Garu. You are like myself, where you are born among the human, or also the Hamid. So you're familiar with human culture, certain socialization, technology. Then the other thing that will happen there are groups of people that have different ideals. And some of them get picked from bloodline or if they match those ideals. They are called tribes. And each one has a different teaching, custom, and history with them.
Okay.
Each tribe will also have a spirit that watches over them.
Okay. When you say spirit, you mean like when my abuela used to tell me that El Cucuy was under the bed?
More like think of how each how he was going over with each saint represents something, and you can get certain things from them. Bigger than that.
Okay.
And they'll teach you certain abilities. They have different ideals. She gives a look to Seeker like she wants to say something about the Spirit Heritage Falcon, but doesn't want to say out loud, like, I think you might be a Silver Fang. Like saying, is that okay or a bad idea?
Johan will actually catch that, and he'll actually lean over and he'll whisper into Veronica's ear. I don't think it has I think I know what you're thinking about his spirit heritage, and I don't think that means he's Silver Fang. I think that has to do with my father's Fey house, which is the House of Falcon.
She nods. Through a few weeks, you'll be taught about each of the other tribes, the 13 tribes, and what they represent, what they teach, because that will be important for you as well.
He looks like he's just taking it all in.
And Veronica looks at all the other assembled areas like she wants them to mention the name of their tribe, just so he can get the idea how different they are, and maybe brief descriptions.
I was once part of the tribe of the Silver Fangs. They are aristocrats, leaders, politicians. I am an aspirant of the Glasswalkers, another tribe that is more technologically focused, very comfortable in cities, unlike many of the others.
Seeker will say, I am of the Uktena tribe. We derive from Native American cultures, mainly from the South, Mexico, the southern United States. We are a tribe of spiritualists. We are the ones that are willing to go into darker places. But we're also very accepting. We don't have such stringent requirements as some other tribes about heritage and things like that. If you feel you belong with Uktena, we will take you. And there, I will explain in more detail what we're about, of course, but that is the basis of the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Seeker will kind of nudge Aiden.
So Aiden will smile. For one, I'm a Galliard like you, so if you need information about that. Besides Veronica, there's also me. But as tribes go, I'm a child of Gaia. We're about unity, and well, you'll learn there's a lot of times in history we fought amongst ourselves, but the child of Gaia want really to put us to that and want to concentrate on the true enemy. And there's a lot of irony in our name because somewhere we're all children of Gaia, but you'll learn that.
Pardon?
He'll say to him, there's some irony in our name because, well, we're kind of all children of Gaia. You'll learn that as it goes.
They're all warriors of Gaia. Adelheid looks at Veronica for her to tell the Shuttle Lord. She will tell the last.
So you want to save yours for last, you're saying?
Yep, like he is looking at you. Adelheid is looking at Veronica for her to go.
Okay. She doesn't have an issue. I am from the Shadow Lord tribe. We revere Grandpa the Thunder, who is a personification of thunder and lightning. My tribe, even though we take those, we are known to have Eastern Europe and Spanish heritage, as well as Asian. We're not generally too picky as long as people are determined and driven, as well as resourceful. My tribe can be seen as scary because we don't have any issue of getting our hands dirty to get the job done.
He just nods. Okay.
Our tribe is either known for seeing those with potential and getting them towards that direction, or striving for leadership. And she leaves it at that.
I am Get Fenris. We are the Garu are the race of warriors, and the Get Fenris are the most warlike tribe. We're the ones who follow the great Fenrir, the warrior wolf. We value strength, ability to stand up and fight. As Garu Nation is at war, we try to make sure that the guy's survival is the primary thing, as all the tribes do in their own ways. If you wish to learn more in the future, I can always help you.
He nods.
I think that's probably enough for right now, and we should I should get him back to cub housing and into one of the houses so he can rest. Seeker will say. So if no one is opposed to that, she'll teach him how to step back sideways, which is using a reflective surface in the Umbra, which they're still surrounded by lake water. So it's not hard. And yeah, after a few minutes of the same, type of concentration, whatever that she showed him the first time, he'll pop back onto the other side.
Woot.
So, and then she'll take him to cub housing and show him into a tiny house.
Neat.
And does anybody have anything else they'd like to do in this scene? Nope. Okay. We will end it. Thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.